Welcome to Latte with a Lawyer, a podcast dedicated to bringing you the stories of some of America's most successful lawyers, figuring out what makes them tick, how they creatively solve problems, and how others aspiring to be them can follow in their footsteps.
Okay, guys, welcome to another episode of Latte with a Lawyer. We have with us today Russell Farbiarz, and he has his own firm with his partner. It's called Antanavage Farbiarz, and they practice elder and estate planning law. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Excellent. So just to keep with the theme of the show, I've already had 3 cups of coffee. What's your morning beverage of choice?
It's coffee. I brew coffee, every morning. My wife, when I first met her, wasn't a coffee drinker, and I converted her to drinking coffee. But the way I converted her is by drinking flavored coffee. So
it wasn't by force. You gently nudged her into the coffee drinking world.
Well, when things started getting serious and I stayed at her place, I told her that if she wanted me to stay there, there needed to be a coffee machine. and that's how it started. But our favorite brews are from there's a coffee shop in Ocean City, New Jersey that we really like, and we actually will order their coffee and have it shipped to our house.
No kidding. What is that brand?
It is Ocean City Coffee Company. I actually have their mug right here.
Wow. I mean, I've been to Ocean City many years ago, and that's interesting. They have their own little coffee brand.
Yeah, their tagline is that they roast the beans on the beach. So it must be the salt air.
There you go. I mean, they made a fan out of you, so that's interesting. I'll have to check that out. So tell me more about what kind of law you practice and what you do. And
Sure. So our firm focuses on working with families in preparing their estates, planning for nursing home care if necessary, protecting assets. So we help clients prepare wills and trusts and powers of attorney and healthcare powers of attorney. Okay. And we also prepare asset protection plans if someone has to go into a nursing facility. We also work with a lot of clients who've lost loved ones in administering their estates and trusts. And then we also we'll handle a fair amount of real estate transactions through our title company that we own as well.
I would imagine the real estate transactions are a part of that estate work. Yeah,
they are, and that's why it's sort of a natural progression to have a real estate practice along with the estate practice, because almost every estate involves some sort of real estate transfer.
Absolutely, no question about it. So, and where do you do your work? Is it in Suffolk County, all over New York?
No, I'm originally from New York, but our practice is actually in Pennsylvania. We are in Berks County, Pennsylvania, Reading area. So if you've ever heard of the Reading Railroad, that's us. But we do work with clients throughout southeastern Pennsylvania, not solely the Reading or Berks County area, but that is where predominantly our clients are.
Oh, so that's where you live now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the Reading Railroad, that was one of the railroads in the Monopoly game.
That's right. That's why if I say the Reading Railroad, then everyone at least knows what I'm talking about. They might not know where we are, but close.
That's funny. Yeah, I think that you always wanted to get the railroads. Those are worth a couple $100 when you're passing the Monopoly board. That tells you how many times I played Monopoly as a kid.
Yeah, likewise. We didn't have tablets or and TV was shows were only on when they were on, so you had to find other things to do. There was no on demand. That's
right. Do you have children yourself that use all those things? Yeah.
I have 3 children, and I have to explain to them what commercial breaks are. And that their show wasn't always when I was a kid, that the show wasn't always on that I wanted to watch. There was actually a schedule.
That's right.
It blows their mind.
That really is interesting. And even now, I mean, we, now that we're used to this on-demand format, we have no patience for commercials, right? We just blow
No,
right through them.
that's right. That's right.
Which is interesting because it kills the advertising, doesn't it? Because
Yep.
you live off the advertising when people are watching whatever the medium is.
Well, and that's how these channels make their money. And so it's hard, particularly for the broadcast channels, because their major source of revenue has kind of gotten sliced. But that's why they've gotten into streaming, where they can force you to watch those commercials.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, actually, the product that we have originally started out as measuring engagement for that purpose, because it's such a big issue for people. So,
Right.
let me ask you a question. So in your work, I mean, do you do any litigation? You ever get into litigation?
I personally do not. I am not a fan of litigation. Um, I I started out my career in criminal litigation. I was a district attorney in our area,
Okay.
so I've done it. It's just not my preference.
Why is that?
I like working with people to get to a solution. I don't like, trying to get people through a criminal justice system that, in my opinion, has a lot of work to do in terms of finding reasonable solutions for people.
Yes.
So I'm much more interested in helping people create a plan that works for them.
But sometimes you can't avoid conflict, right? So that's why I'm curious. Do you ever get into a litigious situation?
Yeah, I mean, it does happen. I'm referring those type of cases out to other attorneys more and more now.
I see.
When I was a little younger, I did take on some of those, and I have tried cases in the orphans court, involving disputes over estates or whatnot. And I do represent clients in court in guardianship matters, as that comes up, and that's technically litigation, but so I do it from time to time, but I'm finding that my time and my resources are better put, on the planning side as opposed to the litigation side.
I see. Have you ever been in front of a jury?
I have.
How was that? I mean, obviously that's not your thing. So
Yeah, it was a very long time ago. It was when I was in the DA's office. I did try a criminal case to a jury. It was a good experience to have. It's a lot of work.
Yes.
To prepare in that context, but it's and I enjoy doing it, but it's one thing to do it for the DA when you're in the DA's office and you don't have to bill it to a client and you can take the time that's necessary. I think it'd be a whole different thing to do it when you're in private practice.
I see. Okay. And what district attorney was this? Also in the state of Pennsylvania or New York?
Yeah, it was the Berks County district attorney.
Okay, good. Oh, so you've been practicing in Pennsylvania then?
I'm licensed in New York, but I've actually never practiced in New York other than doing something for family or friends.
Oh, I see. Where are you from? You said Long Island?
I'm originally from Suffolk County, Long Island, outside of Port Jefferson.
Okay. Wait, so Port Jeff, that's on the North Shore, right?
North Shore.
Got it. Okay, good. Yep. No, I've been out there, Stony Brook and those areas.
Yes.
Right. Port Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Very good. Well, yeah. I mean, so your practice is a little bit different than some of the guys I'm talking to. That's why I'm sort of drilling down a little bit on it. Just curious, how you run it, and what does it look like? So it's a lot of planning with families to help put them in the best position they can be in.
Right. I'm trying to put them in a position where things are going to go smoothly. If someone passes, they're not going to end up, having to fight with other family members, not going to end up in the courtroom.
Okay. Got it. That makes sense. So let me ask you, is there any case that was like really interesting that you worked on that stands out?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm working on one that's real interesting right now that just came in because it's one of the first cases where we've I've had to actually hire a genealogy expert to construct a family tree to
Huh.
figure out who's going to be able to administer an estate and who are going to be the beneficiaries. So we're in the early stages of that, but it's also an excellent example of why it's so critical to do your planning, because the person has passed. We can't find the original signed will, so now we have to go through the administration process, and it requires it's going to require us to get this family tree constructed
To figure out the beneficiaries.
and to figure out who can serve as the administrator, because
the administrator, was there an executor of the estate that passed, you're saying?
well, the decedent passed, and then the administrator and the executor are interchangeable terms.
Okay, I see.
So we're trying to figure out who that person would be.
I see. Yeah, no, I was in the role of the executor at one point for a family member years ago, and so I understand the role, and it's an important role, and that's interesting. So someone has to fill that role, is what you're saying, and you need to figure that out.
So if there's no will, the state, and every state has this, they have what are called intestacy rules that say who gets the assets, with the final beneficiary being the state or the Commonwealth, which of course is not who we want to be the beneficiary.
Right.
And then you have this scenario. You also have in the law, there's an order of who can serve as the administrator for the estate. And so if you have a will, all this is laid out. It's straightforward. You don't have to go through all these machinations to figure it out. In a situation where you have intestacy and you have lots of family members, and then all of a sudden you're in a situation where you've got to get buy-in from lots of people, and you have to give everyone notice. So that's why in some cases, you have to get a genealogy study done so you can say that you've done your due diligence to give everyone notice.
Yeah, interesting. And I would imagine some of the things you work on, whenever there's money involved with families, you get some interesting dynamics that happen.
We definitely see that. Unfortunately, money can have the ability to bring out the worst in people. So we do get, we do get some high conflict sometimes. Not most of the time. Most of the time, people are relatively, easygoing. Other than once they know that they're entitled to an inheritance, they want it yesterday. And
yeah, that's right.
And then we have to sort of lay the expectations for what the process looks like, because it's not a short process.
Yeah, no, it's a lengthy process for sure. Yeah, interesting. So, okay, so tell me how you became a lawyer? Like, what was the path to becoming a lawyer?
Well, I'm a Jewish boy from Long Island, so I was always sort of put in my mind.
Well, two choices, right? You're either a doctor or a lawyer.
That's right. I volunteered at a hospital when I was in high school, and I couldn't decide. But math was never really my strong suit, and so I don't think that organic chemistry would have been a friend for me. So I ended up in the humanities and was a politics and history major, which really qualified me to do two things after college: go to law school or teach. I chose go to law school.
Where'd you go to school?
So undergrad, I went to Brandeis University outside of Boston.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I did law school. I went to Roger Williams University in Rhode Island.
Okay. Yeah, I actually lived on the Newton-Waltham line for a period of time. I was very close to Brandeis.
Yeah, that's a nice area.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, Brandeis is a terrific school for sure. Yeah. So you got a taste of Boston, even coming from New York.
After college, I actually lived in Back Bay, Boston for a year.
Excellent.
And it's a beautiful area. I love the area. And
sure is. I worked on Boylston Street for many years in the Back Bay. Yeah, the Back Bay is really a nice part of Boston for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Okay, so you became a lawyer. Are you the first lawyer in your family?
Um, in my immediate family, yes, but all of my cousins are attorneys as well on my dad's side.
Okay,
Not all of them practice anymore, but they are all attorneys.
excellent. So what would you say to somebody that wanted to become a lawyer today? Would you encourage them? And what would you tell them?
The running joke is if someone wants to become a lawyer, you say, well, why do you want to do that to yourself? But I, I, I think that there are ways to practice law, especially now, that where you can really have more of a work-life balance if you choose it. So for instance, I work remotely from home, probably more days than not right now. And pre-COVID, I never would have thought that was possible, but it's
Yeah.
absolutely possible. And so that allows me to be home when my kids get home from school, see how their day was, and then sort of, be available to take them to extracurricular activities and not, and be able to still, get mostly a full day of work in.
Oh, good.
So,
Yeah.
so there are ways to balance it, but I would encourage anyone who wants to go to law school to really think hard about, what type of life they want, because the law being a lawyer can give you a lot of the freedom if you choose to take it, to build that life.
What do you mean by that when you say give you the freedom?
Because a lot of what we do doesn't, you don't have to be chained to a desk. The way that, big law, if you go into big law, and big law is changing too, because from my understanding is that a lot of associates don't want to come back and be at the office 18 hours a day. They want the flexibility to be able to work from home some of the time. So just look carefully at the culture of the organization that you're going to be working for. And if it's an organization that thinks it's still 1960 and you need to be in the office for FaceTime 80 hours a week, you're going to be unhappy.
Right.
It doesn't matter who you are. That's a recipe for unhappiness.
Yeah, that's not sustainable. It's
No.
just not. Yeah. So is it just you and your partner? How many people in the firm?
So my partner is my wife. She actually
Very good.
she actually is not working in the practice right now. She actually works for one of our judges in the courthouse. But we do have, I think our head count right now is 9. So I have a number of paralegals and assistants, and another. I do have a part-time remote contract attorney who provides some assistance.
Okay, very good. Excellent. It sounds like a nice, manageable practice that you have, and it's nice that you work with your wife. Yeah.
Some days.
Some days. So, we're a technology company, so I'm curious to get your views on technology, now that AI is everywhere, and, are you guys using it? What do you think about it? What's your view on it?
Technology, I probably use more technology than I need to, but technology is also what allows me to have the life that I want to have, because that's why I'm able to work from home, is because everything we do is cloud-based. We use Smokeball for case management. We use Lawmatics for intake. So we've really leaned into using technology, and even before the COVID lockdowns, we were already moving in this direction. It just sort of sped up our timeline.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, COVID really did accelerate the use of technology across the board.
Right, we had no choice.
And had no choice, and that's as the expression goes, necessity is the mother of invention. Mm-hmm. And you're forced to make changes when you need to, and we're not going to roll back a lot of these things, from what I hear.
And that's I'm not planning in my practice. It's we've been doing things a certain way, and it's worked really well with the use of technology, and I don't plan on rolling back you can't go back to the way it used to be because that way doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. So what about like collaboration, like with your paralegals and other people you work with? How do you manage that?
We part of the Smokeball product does have it's pretty much like Slack. So we do a lot of like
Okay.
internal communication. I have team members who live all across the world because we actually have more remote team members than we do in-person team members. So we use Zoom for monthly team meetings.
Oh, good.
So we really use the technology, and we've really taken a look at how we do things and recognize that in a lot of ways the world became a lot smaller because we can communicate with people around the world pretty easily.
That's excellent. So you use Slack, or is it like a law form?
It's called Communicate. It's part of the Smokeball program, but it's very similar to Slack.
I see. Yeah, Slack is terrific.
Yeah.
Or the Slack like product that allows you,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's very good. That was quite a breakthrough in collaboration and communication. Yeah, excellent. No, that's very good. I'm glad to hear that. So you're a forward-thinking guy, and it's all about you're actively trying to make sure that your life is balanced and manageable and not taking over your day, which is good.
No, I'm happy to say I've gotten to all but one baseball game for my son this season. Even one I had to go and get on a Zoom call to do a school board meeting in the car during it. But at least it was one of those things that at least I was able to be there and watch him. And I probably missed maybe 20 minutes of the game. But if I had to go in person, I would have missed the whole game.
Yeah, that's true. I never missed one of my kids' practices. I made that point. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's my goal too, is I don't want to miss any of his games. So.
Yes. Yeah. That's good. That's good. I mean, you can't get those things back. So,
right.
And it's fun. I mean, you're probably like me. You probably find those to be like really like the highlight. It's fun to watch those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very good. All right. Well, this is interesting. So I have to tell you, you're the first guy that I talked to in your kind of practice. So this has been interesting for our listeners. If somebody wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way to connect with you?
So our website is afalawfirm.com. Okay. You can also email us at info@afalawfirm.com or call us 610-562-2000. Or you can find us on social media. We have a very active Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram page.
Wow, you are a tech guy. Good for you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good. This has been fun spending the time here today with Russell Farbiarz and with his own firm. And again, I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing it, but Antanavage Farbiarz, and practicing elder law, which is good work. And this has been sponsored by EmotionTrac, and we are a legal tech company. We use artificial intelligence, and mainly for litigators, people that are trying to, garner insights from nonverbal communications that they use for mediations and trial. And thank you very much again for spending time with us today, Russell. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me.